where we're allowing to be filmed, and I don't think that has been addressed about Mr. Handelman's faith. Oh, so that's
no, it's ongoing. I've talked to him.
Oh, I'm just only asking. It was brought up. It was brought to my attention again. And the other comments are that when we are moving through the cases in the procedure, we're going by our protocol, right? So I think that we have to be just as a group very mindful of the process. Like, yes, public comment, that is great, but we still, I think, kind of need to stay the course. And we do need to be, considerate and compassionate in both groups, the Bureau and the citizen. And sometimes I do think it gets a little complicated by a lot of our recommendations and taking everything in internally. And this is why, well, I'll talk about it more on executive committee meetings, because that's why I'm very grateful for the executive committee. And I think that we do need to that's it.
Absolutely. When you're talking about the filming, like have a discussion here among us about Mr. Handelman's filming, or were you just talking about individual having a conversation with them? Or like where were you?
Oh, no. I'm talking about the filming in the location, because that was one of the concerns I know specifically from Mr. Turner, Daryl Turner, about officers feeling comfortable coming in with like the cameras right on their back, right in their face. And we do really want them to come in as well. Like, I mean, he should be able to film the entire room and have the scope. But we want them to come. We want this process to improve. We want officers to be there just as well as citizens. And they don't feel comfortable with that location.
No, I'm just asking, I know you're concerned, I'm just asking, should we have the conversation among us here?
And then,
so we can make a decision as to what make a decision. And also the other thing is, should we have a conversation about officers coming here as well and make a decision together? Work on making a decision together. And
so you're saying, should it be in question of whether or not we want officers coming?
No. That's a question in front of us. But the question that I'm asking you is, should we have a conversation as a citizens, as a committee, to address that? Or should that be something that maybe a work group can decide, we can assign to a work group, and then have the work group come up with some sort of resolution? You see what I'm saying?
I'm a little confused at this point about what would go to the work group.
So you have two topics. And you're saying you brought up two topics here: the filming and how the officers feel, and then the officers come in here and participate. And so my question to you, back to you, is: do we want all of us, the whole committee, to have a full conversation to address those two topics, and then come up with some sort of resolution, a vote? Or do we want to submit that to a work group? To a specific work group, like the outreach work group, to talk about filming.
Here's what I would recommend in regards to your conversation and your concerns. Part of what is always a struggle right now, particularly where we're slammed with a lot of appeals, is it gets very late in the evening and it's hard to discuss these kind of nuances of how we want to conduct our meetings in a way that's intentional of the extremely sensitive nature by which of what we're doing. And so I think the creation of an executive committee was to allow space to be able to have those conversations. And I think that is a good place to have them, and then from that bring the content to maybe, if it's going to be a change, to vote to the whole committee, but have the more robust and in-depth conversation. Because I think it's hard because they're not easy conversations. I think addressing filming has a lot of things that go to it, because we are a public venue and we want to make sure, like you said, that we are still respectful of that, but also respectful of the people who are all here as well. And so I think that deserves a robust discussion. likewise, I think how we approach outreach in general and do intentional outreach with the Bureau, the same way we do intentional outreach with the community, and the same way we really should be doing outreach with different city officials, we should create a comprehensive plan, and we're not going to do that within these kind of committee meetings when it's 10 past 8 and everyone's fairly fried. So I would recommend like the executive committee and then anything that is a approach that the committee will then go forth with that then comes to us to kind of be like, here's the plan, what do you guys think of it? If that's
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
What area, where do you want to talk? I mean, I'm not here, trying to, let's not talk about it. I'm just saying that where and when.
Stated it pretty eloquently.